We've been through most of this, so, I mean, we opened our doors June 3rd, 2018, and we're off and running. You all have been on tours before. Everybody understands, obviously, you all understand the difference between all bourbon is whiskey, not all whiskey is bourbon. Do you know why?
It's an umbrella.
How did we come to that?
The whiskey war that we had?
Where's the rectangle?
Ryan.
That stuff we had earlier, that was it.
The other stuff.
So, 1960, hopefully tell you guys something you don't already know. 1960, the Bourbon Institute in Louisville, Ohio. There is a Louisville, Ohio.
There is.
Louisville, Kentucky, goes to the International this is after we've been drinking all day. International Federation of
Responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yeah.
Responsibly.
Responsibly.
We're going to eat a lot after this. So the Bourbon Institute, Louisville, Kentucky, goes to the International Federation of Wine and Spirits in Paris and says, hey, we got Canadian bourbon, we got Mexican bourbon, we got American bourbon. This should be made in America only. And the Federation's like, hey, you're right, that's a great idea. Like Scotch is only made in Scotland, Irish Whiskey Island. You just got to get your government to pass a law that says that. So, in the greatest act of bipartisanship ever, a mere 3.5 years later, 1964, the Congress passes the law that defines bourbon as we know it today. So, if you didn't know that before, now you know.
Yeah.
So it was really not until 1964 that bourbon was defined as it is.
Bourbon. Yeah.
That's interesting. American.
I tried. All right, I'm tapped out.
I'm done.
So that's the tour.
I found something you guys didn't know.
Next check in.
So, the bourbon we're making, all we're distilling here is a bourbon. As you know, the vodka, the gin, the whiskey war is all third-party sourced and blended or redistilled. Our bourbon is going to be, when we put it out, which is hopefully next year sometime, maybe. The short answer is when Adam says it takes right. But 55% corn, 37% wheat, 8% malted barley. That's how I nailed it. All right, I'm looking to Dylan for confirmation.
That's correct.
But so it's going to be a wheated bourbon, Weller, Rebel, Larceny. There is Maker's Mark. This other wheated bourbon up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, that might be somewhat significant. So, as we mentioned in the podcast, all of that is milled at Haas Malt in Cleveland, Ohio. They send it to us. We don't mill it here because A, we don't have space. B, it's very dusty. And C, because it's very dusty, it's very flammable. And all these people would be very sad if shards of glass went flying into the dining room.
Probably.
Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it'd be like,
Could be
this
cool.
is the best experience ever.
Canonically.
When can I pay more for this?
I got the
It's a night shower.
Flash on.
I can't believe we didn't have to pay extra for this experience.
A couple days we get pressure bombs on.
So everything starts in the mash tun or cooker. We got 550 gallons of grain, 270 gallons of water going into this. We're going to heat it up to 200 degrees. At this point, we have a soup, but there's no alcohol.
I didn't know grains were measured in gallons.
They are now.
Because Todd said so.
What are you on?
Yeah,
Buckeye bourbon guy. So
Who's
we're going to heat
lying?
that up
What
to
is
200 degrees for about 3
exit out of
hours. Then we're going to cool it down
29.
rapidly to about 90 degrees. We're going to send it to the fermenter.
Oh, get some video of this.
Oh yeah, you got to climb
Look
up
at
there
that
and taste
finger
it.
lick there.
So we're going to send it to the fermenter. This is young. This is what, a day? 2 days?
Thursday started the cook.
Thursday?
Let's take a look at what.
So
Let me get a. Oh
we're going to
yeah.
cool it down to 90 degrees really quickly. We do that because we're going to pitch the yeast.
Pretty
in at this
good.
point.
That's pretty
The
good.
yeast, it tastes like flat oatmeal beer. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's like every college.
Everyone can relate to that.
Yeah, we've all been there. It's flat oatmeal beer. Once we're done with this, at the end of about 4 days, it's going to be about 8% alcohol or distiller's beer.
Everybody's been there.
Everybody climb up, have a taste.
Brita's out.
Come on, Chance, let's see it.
You got your oatmeal, you have like a natty light, you pour it in there.
Is it thick?
It gets thicker.
Yeah, that doesn't. That seems to me actually younger than.
Yeah, it's definitely
Thursday.
Not, it's not like day 4. It's
Yeah,
probably
when
day
it gets
2.
really, when it's done, it'll be
It
very.
tastes like flat oatmeal beer.
Yeah,
It does.
it's amazing, isn't it? I
It's
almost
real
nailed
low.
it.
It's really good.
I mean, even when it's
By the end of this, when it's done, it'll be very crusty on top.
Yeah.
Literally like an oatmeal complex or
Tasty.
complex. Yeah,
It's like
it's like a
8 to
sour.
11%.
You know what blows my mind is that when we were at Buffalo Trace, they had it was Rabbit Hole actually that we did it. The temperature of the liquid is actually like room temperature, but it feels like it's so much hotter because it just goes all straight through it. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Well,
your
it's
body
because
temperature. No, seriously, your body's at 98 degrees.
Yeah.
90 degrees, right? So,
So-
it'll feel colder than your body.
But how is it? It looks like it's boiling. No.
but that's because of the yeast. So if you feel the outside of this, you're going to feel a little warm. We're not heating that. We're not heating that at all. I'm just going to bask and then make fun of you.
We're really nice.
So this is going to feel a little bit warm. We're not heating this at all. This is the yeast doing its work, so it's eating the sugars, excreting alcohol, which is a pretty wonderful existence.
I wish I was yeast.
I do too. I want to come back as
It's
my
like
goal
God's
is come,
greatest.
I want to either come back as yeast
Yeah.
or an Ohio Liquor Department agent.
That'd be pretty cool.
Same thing. Either way, same thing. So that'll happen over the course of 4 days. That's what's creating alcohol.
That was the greatest fucking quote ever. Or an OH junction.
I mean, you would eat
You're the
sugar and
same.
poop yeast.
Fruit
That's
yeast,
awesome.
I mean, again, how is that not a great
Fruit alcohol,
existence?
that's
Is there a
awesome.
T-shirt?
Yeah, with that on it.
Yeah.
There will be.
Did you explain the boiling process yet or no?
The boiling.
effects?
What
There's no
boiling
boiling.
process?
The yeast.
But why does it look like it's boiling though? But why?
Because the yeast
Because as a result of eating the sugar and excreting the alcohol,
is producing
that's generating
gas.
power. Power's not the right
Carbon.
word. Carbon monoxide.
There it
So
is.
if you look at that. So if you, I always tell this on my tours, but you guys are trained professionals. You can climb up and you can take a deep. Do not take a deep breath
Do it.
You waft it.
because then you're going to pass out. You're going to fall down. OSHA's going to come in, and then I'll probably get fired, and we'll have to drag your body out.
Drag your body.
Or hide it. That didn't happen. All right. So we have at this point, the end of day 4, we've got the fermentation. Now we're going to send it over.
Liquid solid transfer pump.
Yeah, in the back there. So we'll send it over to our doubler, which is really a hot still at this point.
Can we get in there?
You can. Somebody's got to get in after every run and clean it.
I'll hop in.
Adam may or may not have gotten stuck at one point, which is why he doesn't do it anymore. Yeah, they literally use a step ladder. Dylan, do you have to clean this out, or is it just Michael?
Oh, I don't go in there. I'm blessed.
All right, so it's just Michael. He's a little smaller. A
Yeah,
little
he's
more
like
agile.
5'8", 185 pounds. But
So
somebody has to get in that bitch.
once we
I'll hop
send
in. Should I try getting in there?
volunteer, somebody offered their like 12-year-old kid for summer employment.
Small hands.
Yeah.
Small hands.
I would
Other
do
than
that.
child labor laws, we have no issue with that.
Should we do a video?
Teach them hard work.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does somebody want to get in?
I'm getting in.
All right.
Jay will get in.
I'm ready. Someone loop me up.
Does he need to like get down into his hips or? Guys.
Yeah, you gotta take all that extra clothing off.
Oh, all right.
Jay, you have to go with your boxers. Justin, only your Justin, your boxers only.
Boxes only? No,
This next part's pretty cool.
All right. Don't step on the agitator.
Dude,
I don't know what the
where are you?
Is that little thing? All right.
Yeah, that little thing that agitates.
Oh, okay.
He's already in there.
Wait, how do you get your other leg in?
This is a good
Are you
question.
gonna be able to fit?
Yes.
Got it.
I've been losing weight recently.
Wait, in fairness, again, Adam may or may not have gotten
Adam gets
stuck.
in there.
So yeah, Adam is a little.
Now you're down.
See you guys.
here.
Goodbye, Jay.
All right, well, we'll see ya.
Not very big.
Hey, Jay.
Yo, what's the rent for this?
That should
Well,
be
you don't know.
yeah, what's the rent?
In New York City, that's actually $1,200 a month. So
It's 2,000.
That's
now the
awesome.
hard part.
This is tight
Now you gotta
squeeze.
try to get out.
How does it smell in there?
Hey, honestly, it smells great in here.
Yeah?
So here's how you're gonna do this. We'll scoot it over this way.
Jay, are you stuck?
No,
Alright, so
I'm
Not yet.
press yourself out.
Boom.
Foot here.
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go.
You're good.
Here, you need another
Oh,
can.
we're good.
Yeah, there you go. I got you.
Hey.
Hey. All right, they're gonna hire you to.
So Justin's down
Hey.
right here.
Wait, just to be clear, this is not part of the regular.
Not part of the regular.
Not. We don't do this.
Behind the
You
scenes.
do not get to
That
climb
will
in
never
the
happen
costume.
again.
And we are
Any tour ever.
responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are responsible.
Yes,
about this.
everybody here is responsible professionals. So we're going to heat this up to about 180 degrees because at this point we want to extract the alcohol from the mash. Water boiling point is 212 degrees. Alcohol is 173.
Point of alcohol.
I'm already past that point.
What is it?
173. 172.
It's between 170s,
Oh,
but never
sweet.
mind.
Did you really call me out on 1 degree?
What's that in Celsius for our out-of-country viewers?
You know what?
This is America. We don't do it Celsius.
It's Google. You can look up it. Hey, wait. This is Google.
We just do
If you need
ridiculous
a
member
conversion
measurements
chart,
that we
check
all
it
made
out.
up.
Yeah, you can check that out on Google.
Make your own stuff here.
So it's going to evaporate. It's going to go through these pipes in the back, go over here to the condenser. These pipes in the back, go over here to the condenser. 70 proof. That's nice, but it's not really nice enough. So we're going to send it back over here, and we're going to do the process again. So we do a double distillation. Now this stuff is great. This is the tails. It is. Oh.
Hey guys, taste some.
All right.
Yeah.
Tails.
No, I already stuck my finger in it.
Yeah, if you want
My
some
hands are
tails.
dirty as.
So when it comes
Yo,
out,
whoever cleaned that thing last did a terrible job, I gotta say.
Michael.
Look at that. Come on.
All right.
It's not clean.
You're hired.
It's dirty.
Chance, get in there with the tail.
No, I don't think he's going to. Just gotta get. I don't
Just
think
the way it
that's been
happened.
cleaned yet.
It's good.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's why you got
Kitty,
that
kitty,
in.
kitty.
That's a very nice finger lick you got there.
Thanks.
We're working on it. That's good stuff.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Definitely not good stuff.
That is not
Yeah.
good stuff.
So this is the
I would drink
tail.
a glass of that.
What they're tasting is the tails. We cut the heads and the tails out because it's not good. The heads are the toxic part. The methanols, acetones. We use it for industrial cleaner with also a little bit of additional conversion. That's what we did with the hand sanitizer during COVID. The tails, again, they taste it, not toxic because that's why I let you taste it. But heavier components of any blend kind of drift to the bottom, a little yellowish, a little heavy, glycerins, not so good. So if you think about the moonshiners, they are not separating the heads and tails. So when it comes off the still the second time, it's coming off at 150 proof. We have basically moonshine, white dog, white lightning. They're not cutting the heads and the tails. So when you think about going blind, rot gut, dying, maybe you got the third mason jar, which was pure acetone, methanol, methane. Yeah, not good. If you're lucky, they just kind of mix it into a big vat, and so you got the toxins, but not all of the toxins. So
The toxins are not good for you?
generally, no. I caveat that because maybe there's something that's good.
I don't know. Tastes
But-
sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, try this. What could go wrong? So after our second distillation, Adam cuts the heads and the tails. The hearts are the distillate. So generally it's a 15% heads, 15% tails. Distillate is about 70% of the run. Second run, that's what's going into the barrel. It'll take us 3 runs to get 1 barrel. So 3 runs of the first cut, and then we'll put all that back in for the second run, and then that's what ultimately gets put into the barrel as the hearts for what we're making.
Now, was this custom made or? It looks like a big ice chest.
Yeah, I don't think it was custom made.
We can cut this out.
I don't care. Cut it out.
I don't care.
It looks like an ice chest.
Are you telling me how to cut my video on video?
Are you telling us our equipment, or are you telling us?
Can we record this conversation?
Yeah. All right. Now we're throwing down.
It's not Friday though.
All right. So this is the angry part. Friday night. Is this Friday night yet?
It's fine. It's right there.
Hey, this is our Friday night fights. Echo Spirits is coming over.
I think we should do
Yeah.
3v3 Bourbon Boys versus High Bank basketball back in the back.
Done.
Oh yeah.
I would roll like
Yo,
both legs.
But Todd's like
We got that right.
I guarantee you.
That'd be great.
Todd has like a new hip, a new knee.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't start.
We don't start until we finish a bottle, though. Each team has to drink a bottle.
Oh wow, that'll
like this
We're gonna be
idea.
responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Responsibly have
We're gonna be responsible.
Responsible, which means
Very.
we're home.
Uber.
Or Lyft. I don't want to be prejudicial.
Yep. Or lift.
Or Lyft.
Yeah, or Lyft, or bring
Or
air
taxis.
mattresses.
Or taxi. Yeah.
I
Or
would drag that
Wait.
basketball hoop, put it right
we
there.
don't need air mattresses. We have power.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Just bring a pillow.
Yeah, that's okay. Sleeping in a place where there's a bunch of bourbon? Nah, I can fly.
What could possibly? What could go wrong?
It'd be okay.
The course that
So-
anybody else on.
Once we get the. This went off the rails so fast. So, but it's all good. So once we get the distillate, this is what's going to ultimately go into the barrel, which is aging in the back. For those of you who have been on Kentucky tours, what's good about their water? Kentucky tours. Oh yeah.
Limestone.
Naturally filtered through a limestone shelf. We have the best water. That's why we make the best bourbon, which was very true in 1783. But today, they're all using reverse osmosis because that's what we use and that's what they use, because you don't want to risk the insecticides, pesticides, fertilizers contaminating your taste profile. So if you're ever on a tour in Kentucky and they give that nice story about the natural limestone shelf, you can always ask, do you all use reverse osmosis? And
I'm trying to cut that.
The answer is going to be yes, unless your maker's mark, which their water source they use in making the mash is actually their own water source, not reverse osmosis. But they also bought 1,000 acres around that water source, and they treat it like a bonsai tree. So even when they proof it down, they use reverse osmosis.
I think MGP uses that the Miami reservoir that they have right there in Ohio. It's like, so like growing up in Cincinnati, that was like the best tap water, like filtered tap water naturally.
But even so, even Louisville, if you go down the one rabbit hole, Old Forester, Evan Williams, Michter's, Peerless, they're all doing reverse
They're all
osmosis.
using-
They're using Louisville tap water.
Oh, okay.
So even no matter how great your tap water is, you're gonna go risk. You're not gonna risk that.
That's great.
Affecting your. Well,
Do you think it's more of a trend?
No, I think it's. I mean, you as a distillery go to Wild Turkey, Heaven's Mill. 100+ years, you've cultivated, figured out which rick houses you can pull from to get the taste profile for Larceny or Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond or Old Fitz or whatever. You're not going to risk the water somehow screwing that up. And so you're going to use reverse osmosis because it neutralizes the water. You're just never going to, at this point, you're never going to risk that. And we don't need it.
No.
But again, they were right. 1783 up to about 1950. Yeah, we have a natural filter that works great.
What do you want?
And
As of
Whatever.
2021,
Whatever you have.
results here, water quality. Kentucky's not even mentioned before. Ohio.
well, Columbus, Ohio actually has good water quality because.
So my take on it.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that.
I would say that probably like Cincinnati or Hamilton County is probably higher than
Yeah.
Not even mentioned?
Anheuser-Busch showed up in the 1960s, and they're like, we want to put a plant here. One thing you got to fix is your Columbus water is actually really good. Now to service the Texans.
Usually that number 1 a year or because of population density.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's always
Yeah,
been
so
the thing.
the
They have
Bush in
most
Columbus,
water
Ohio
treatment plants per capita. in
made
the-
that made our water
Actually
much
good.
better. Yeah, wow, actually good.
Actually
Might
good.
be an overstatement. Made it better.
Made it actually good.
Made it actually is very good.
All right.
This is
So-
a great tour I'm on right now.
Tier. Well, this is a tier, not to be confused with a tour.
This is a tour.
abbreviated.
I'm on the tour.
You're on the tier now.
I gotta make a pit stop at the table real quick.
Oh, yeah, we should reload.
Reload.
I just reloaded.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't had this yet today.
Just the regular?
This is the, so not the barrel proof. This is the regular midnight cask.
Much sweeter.
Todd,
So
what
if
are
you're-
Todd, you refilling or what?
I'm all right.
Actually, the thing
I
is-
still got fuel in the tank. So
Sure,
it's
sure,
Todd, I
sure.
still get a lot of maple syrup on this.
On the midnight cast?
I do.
All right, I did not.
Maple syrup.
I may have done
No, so the other
Chance, why don't you get in here, boy?
Barrel proof, we got a heavy maple syrup note.
No, that was
off
the
nose.
Pinot Noir.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm positive. So,
well, I still smell it.
all right. You know what? The great thing about nosing bourbon and whiskey, you can't be wrong. You know why?
Can't be wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's all based on your
Max.
palate. Your
I have a
nose.
superior nose, that's why.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Have you seen this thing? Look at that
Super
knob.
Sniper.
Super
It's a
sniffer.
Dyson vacuum.
No, it's good. What do you
Yeah.
think? What is that? What are you drinking?
This is double oak.
This is double oak.
So,
You polish that one off.
I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. So, what? Oh, Midnight Cast.
There we
Yes,
go.
There it is. Thank you. So,
Right
if you're a
there.
whiskey drinker, I generally describe this as this is a nice after dinner drink. Say the family's over and they're still here. Pour a glass. And they're still here. Pour another glass.
They're probably never gonna leave.
They're gonna stay
If
they
you don't drink
more of
whiskey, this is your gateway drug.
that. This
Because it's so sweet. It's a nice, easy introduction.
No, I think it's very good. I think it does remind me of that. I guess in very more like traditional settings, like you have a drink after dinner, and this qualifies for it very much because you are sitting there. You don't want anything heavy. You don't want anything overpowering. But that's perfect. It's great.
So one of the funny thing is that one of my good friends, he's just a big wine drinker. Like he just loves wine. But I tried getting him to like bourbon. Like he hated it. He like we had him try top of the line bourbon, Williams, E.H. Taylor, all
Whiskey
whiskey war.
Hey. Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if he had some of
Something like this.
something like
Oh,
that,
it's great.
Oh, he would be
Yeah.
like, wait, this is actually really
Yeah,
good.
no, it's
This is
big
he's a big wine guy.
I think it's kind of a realm that really hasn't been explored with, like pairing it with an after dinner drink. Like that really hasn't been something that is broadcasted out there where people really know about. Because you just start drinking and you're like, oh yeah, this is good, this is good. It's like, hey, let's try this after our meal. And it kind of gives you a different palate with it. So it's really cool. It is.
Yeah, and I mean, all the rage right now is to finish things in wine cast.
Right.
This is literally blended with wine.
Yeah, it's cool.
Makes it that much
It's
sweeter.
good.
Nobody's thinking about their drinks as being dessert. Hasn't been talked
No
about.
one is.
Hasn't been thought
No one
about.
talks about it at all.
That's your
Because they
dessert
think,
drink.
oh, I'm so full, like I'm good. Let's go somewhere, let's go out. But like after you have a nice meal, it's like, oh,
Why not?
This compliments it.
Wait a
It's
minute, that's
fantastic.
blasphemy. I'm so full, I can't go on. Shut up. You can fight through
You
this.
have to drink
another drink. Come on.
responsibly.
Responsible.
Get an Uber or a Lyft.
Because
So-
you're not driving, because you're at your own phone.
This video is not sponsored by Uber or Lyft.
Wait, or mad.
Okay.
But take it.
We're moving.
But take it.
Where are we off to next?
So the bottling room.
I donate.
Bottle room? That's all you?
That's good.
Where's Tom? Do we have a resident?
Oh, look at
What happened to pizza? Pizza? Where's the hydraulic? Oh, there it is.
You want this? You want this one?
Yes. Any of them. So this is our bottling room. Did I break things? Don't mind me, Dylan.
Don't break anything.
In fairness, out of my watch. So I'll use the whiskey that we're blending to go through this process. The barrels get dumped in these 350-gallon containers in the proprietary mix. The 3 different types we get from MGP. At that point, we'll break them down into these 50-gallon drums. This is where we're going to add the water proof down, the whiskey war, the 88 proof, obviously not proofing down the barrel proof. And at this point, this is where we add we insert this to go through the 4 bottling machine. So every single bottle we make through here goes through this 4 bottling machine. There's another one over there. I don't know if that's a backup or just we're planning to double capacity. But it'll take about 25 seconds to fill up 4 bottles, so it takes about 5 hours to go through a drum. Everything, as we talked about in the whatever we're doing live, that thing. All bottles, corks are put in by hand, sealed by hand, labels are put on by hand. So that's what it reinforces us as a craft distillery. Obviously not highly automated at all. So that's kind of the process.
What's in the box to your left?
Box to the left.
Whoa!
This is going to be, this is actually the left Zin. I was going to say, if you blended your own, that was going to be this, but no, this is the left Zinfandel. So in December, we released the right barrel and the left barrel, which Dylan described. The right barrel was very sweet, the left barrel more woody and whiskey-like. So some extra bottles of alcohol left. Yes. We cannot drink those, yes. Because you know why? They're not marked as sample.
True.
I know my rules.
All right, let's see.
So that's kind of the barreling process. Again, everything's done by hand, reinforces our craft distillery status. The barrel proof obviously changes every batch. Every batch is going to be approximately 1,000 to 1,200 bottles, looking at 350 gallons. So that batch, and I think we're on batch, as Dylan said, we're on batch 36. Dylan's theming something, which is getting me really excited, even though it's not from a barrel. But, okay.
It means it's about to be bottled.
What?
It's about to be bottled. Oh, is this batch 36?
It is. It's a brand new batch. I batched Friday.
Dylan is...
What is that little thing you're holding called?
It's a whiskey thief.
Whiskey thief. That's what they call it.
Wait, who?
Wait, that's one of our good, one of our good buddy, or not good buddies, but someone that we always see is Whiskey Thief.
He's not really,
Wait.
He's not really a good friend of me.
actually like
His best friend is We're all good friends.
But he does give us free whiskey when we come over. So.
This guy is everybody's best friend.
That was awesome.
You know,
A thief is
Metal
everybody's
straw.
best friend. So what are we sharing, Dylan? Go ahead.
this is batch 36 of barrel-proof whiskey ward.
Oh.
It's not
get 'em,
just
y'all.
well. This is the
Here, you guys go get them.
36th batch of barrel-proof, but regular whiskey ward is a little bit higher on batches.
Do you know what the proof on this is?
Yes, this is 115.3.
So this is still low.
Yes, a lot of them have been coming back a little lower.
Do you think this is sweet as like 34? Or
It is
it
definitely
that?
sweet. It is.
So this is finished product. There's nothing else left. You just
Correct.
bottle it.
To go to the bottom.
Yeah.
So
This is ready to go.
when something like this, he'll filter through. I think it's a 5 micron filtered paper.
We're going
So literally it's just to take the char out. We're not proofing it down at all. We're not filtering anything out.
Gotcha.
At this point, we're going through about 3 batches a month
Oh wow.
between the bar. And this is just the first location. When our second location opens in late April,
Gehenna?
Gehenna, yeah.
You guys know that when you look up the
Morrison
menu,
62.
I
when
thought
you
it was
look up
supposed
when you look up the menu on, it says Gehenna and Grand.
Yeah, it already
Yeah,
shows it up.
already does.
Damn.
So construction is a little behind schedule. Opening was supposed to be April 1st, but we're looking at late April now. So
Okay.
Oh, good to know.
look for
That makes
HB2,
more
High Bank
sense.
2,
But you guys
opening
are still gonna have like.
Morrison 62.
Is there a restaurant or is it just like more of a distillery? Restaurant?
It's gonna be. It is. We're gonna have some. Probably, hopefully, location specific barrels and bottles being released there.
This has
A
got
little
some
secrets coming on.
Right.
But we're gonna have a little private tasting room.
Wow.
Outside of that, it's gonna be the exact same thing. It's just little things that you can get
This has
by
got a
with
lot of to me, this has a lot of
cheating the
maple in it.
system.
Yeah.
You'll like that.
Hey,
Are you guys gonna be in between areas, or are you
I'll
guys
be driving everything over.
hey, Dylan, what's the mash bill on this? Don't ask.
The mash bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is
Is
it
I
proprietary?
can't release that. It's a 6-barrel batch. 78% rye is where it's sitting at. But I
So
cannot
this-
release the official Whiskey War mash bill.
That's fine.
So it's, again, approximately 80% rye, but a blend of 3 different.
I might lose my job. And
We can turn the camera off for this.
I really like my
He's
job.
got a kid on the way and a house,
Hey.
a new mortgage.
If it's on the way in like a month, so
Wow.
Adam, I can't afford Adam to fire me in like a month now. So
fantastic?
when this video comes out, I don't want to lose my job.
This has 34 is what we had out front, and this to me has a lot more maple.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's rye to like a very
That was
sweet-
more of a vanilla sweetness,
Yeah,
and this is more of a maple
Okay.
to
But
me.
yeah, this is batch 36. So this
So-
is 24 batches since last April.
Wow.
Question for you guys.
So good.
So I know there's a lot of like experimentation going on with like flavor profiles and,
Yeah.
and all that. And the only thing that I feel like nobody is experimenting with is barrels other than oak. Why is nobody, I know oak is like specific to bourbon, but why is nobody using other types of wood in their flavors?
That's why.
Well, I
It
mean,
can't be
it's just
bourbon.
but-
It can't be bourbon if it's not aged in
Yeah.
oak.
And
Has-
is that,
so in the
do you
whiskey
think that's
market-
holding the industry back though?
Well,
Because
but
there's
if you
so many
owe-
different types of wood and so many different types of flavors that come from the different types of wood, so why?
He's a tree arborist, so he likes wood.
where
Yeah, I'm a big wood guy, you know.
I will say
Big
that
wood.
it's looking at the whiskey market as an umbrella. So, the only restriction for that whiskey umbrella is straight down the middle. That's where I say whiskey in bourbon lives, is right down the middle. That's where your American oak lives, is right down the middle. Outside of that, when your branches spread out,
To be clear, to be bourbon, it doesn't have to be American white oak.
Can we keep the conversation rolling? Because I think we're on a
It can-
tight time front.
Okay, it can be French oak, it can be Spanish oak, I mean,
any oak.
it can be
But
any
yeah.
oak, it doesn't have to be white ook.
But I know that there are definitely.
Actually, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be,
So, like, if you like Mizunura, that would count.
If it's produced in America.
no, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking Davis County.
Yeah.
The white label is French oak.
Yeah.
So an
The dates
oak
of French oak.
barrel produced in America, but it doesn't have to be an oak barrel company.
I just imagine like.
All right, so let me see this thing. Hey guys,
We're done?
we're actually transferring to a restaurant. Yeah, I guess.
No, that's fine with me.
This was Todd. And Todd, what was your social again for your Instagram?
Buckeye Bourbon Guy on Instagram.
Buckeye Bourbon guy. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, he was showing us a great time. He and everybody at High Bank. We're gonna go have food now. Check for this on our YouTube for the whole interview and conversation with Todd and a couple other guys. So.
So are there whiskeys that use?
All right, guys. See you soon.